Bottoms Down Chair Yoga for Everyone. I'm Carol. I'm so glad you've joined us. Today is day 13 of our 30-day Reset and Renew series. This is a 60-minute practice. Isn't a great way to open your mind and body to the positive effects of yoga. This class was originally created several years ago. Let's experience our chair yoga practice as a community together. Hello and welcome to Bottoms Down Chair Yoga for Everyone. I'm Carol and I'm so glad you've joined us today. Coming to you from our YouTube channel, Bottoms Down Chair Yoga. And if you haven't already, if you would click that subscribe button, we'd really appreciate it, and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. All right, we're going to use our chair today, but we're also going to use a strap. Now, if you don't have a strap, a yoga strap, I get it. That's fine. I understand. But you can substitute a men's tie or a belt or a strap or a scarf. So, anything that's kind of got some length to it would be just fine. Now, if you have your strap with you and you're going to use that, let's go ahead and place it under our chair. But I will tell you, if you don't want to use the strap, that's just fine. It's okay, right? Not a problem. All right. So let's get started. We're going to start by lifting that heart up nice and tall. We're going to pull that belly button into the spine. We're going to flip those palms up to the ceiling. Let's go ahead and take a moment to ground those feet to the earth. So we're thinking about those 4 pressure points that we have behind the big toe, behind the little toe, and the 2 points of the heel. And let's think about having all 4 of those pressure points equally weighted on the earth. And now we're going to ground those sits bones. So we have those pointy bones that we sit on, and let's make sure that we have them equally weighted on the chair. Let's go ahead and close our eyes. Focus your attention on your heart center and just breathe. Just feel your natural inhalation and exhalation. And then let's elongate that breath, inhaling a little more deeply and exhaling a little more completely. Moving into that yoga breath, we're going to extend the belly as we fill the lungs from the bottom up. And we're going to exhale as we pull that belly button to the spine and push the air up and out of the lungs. Do that 2 more times. And breathe normally. Bring your hands to your heart. Set your intention for today's practice. One more breath. And release it. Very good. Go ahead and open your eyes. Let's drop that right ear to the right shoulder and just feel that stretch in the neck. Right here. You feel that? Nice. Let's drop our chin towards our chest. And left ear to left shoulder. Oh, yeah. I just felt my neck crack. Felt good. Let's go ahead and drop that chin back down to the chest. Now we're going to go ahead and look to the front of the room. Let's look over that right shoulder, just nice and gentle. We're warming things up. And look to the front of the room, and let's look the other way. Oh, yeah. Very, very nice. Look to the center of the room, roll those shoulders up, back, and down. And let's reverse those circles. Yeah, that feels good. Very nice. All right, let's come into a mountain pose. We're going to bring those hands down by our side. Remember, belly button is tight. Now, if you have shoulder issues, you're going to stay in this mountain pose. Or maybe you come to GoHPO arms. Those are good options. If you're with me, we're going to take those hands straight up to the ceiling. Shoulders are down. We're trying to touch the ceiling with our fingertips. Belly is tight. One more breath and release it. Let's roll those shoulders. Let's add the breath. Inhale up, exhale down and around. Inhale up, exhale down and around, and reverse it. Inhale up, exhale down and around. One more. Inhale up, exhale down and around. Very, very good. Okay, we're going to lean our mountain this time. So now, if you're here, you're just going to lean, right? And it's all good. If you've got goalpost arms, you're going to do the same thing. All right, but if you're with me, we're taking those hands up to the ceiling. We're trying to touch the ceiling. We're going to take that one hand down and we're going to stretch in each direction. Now you're going to put your hand on the chair and you're going to lean into it. Oh, yeah. Let's add a twist. Turn and look up at the ceiling. Just a little baby twist. We're waking up the side waist muscles. You feel that? All right, take that twist out. Come back center. All right, let's everybody start in your mountain pose. Down we go. If you're with me, hands to the ceiling. Remember, you can keep the hands down or all goalpost arms. Let's take that opposite hand on the chair. Lengthen and lean your mountain. Let's take a little baby twist. Take that twist out and up we go and roll those shoulders. Oh, yeah. Add that breath if you like it. And reverse it. Inhale here and exhale around. All right, real quick, a couple of cat and cows. Let's bring our hands down. So we want to get that spine warmed up, right? So we work. There's actually there's a method to our madness. Let's move into that cat pose, rounding the chin. Rounding the shoulders, tucking the chin. So there's okay, lift up into that cow. What am I trying to say? A method to the madness, right? So we move through these opening poses in a certain way to warm up the body safely. Let's go back into that cat pose. And let's come back into cow. Just taking those thumbs to the back wall. And release it. Very good. All right, let's do a little bit for the legs. We're going to open that knee nice and wide. We're going to let that knee fall down towards the floor. Push the foot behind you. Lift your heart up and breathe. Crescent lunge. Remember that knee can be down if that doesn't feel good. To stretch it back behind you. Either is fine, and release it. Let's do that one more time. Lifting that heart up. And release. Go ahead and face forward. Let's do that quick pyramid pose. Extend that leg out in front of you, toes to the ceiling. Extend the spine long and let that heart fall forward. While you're down here, I want you to reach down and grab, I want you to grab your strap. My strap wasn't where I could actually grab it from that pose. Let's come back to the pyramid pose. Sorry about that. I should have had us grab our strap first. All right. Now, if you have a strap, you're just going to put it on the ball of the foot. You're going to walk your hands down that strap and let that heart fall. If you don't have a strap, you're just going to do regular pyramid pose. It's okay. So all I'm doing is I'm kind of pulling gently, flexing that foot, maximizing that stretch. Oh, yeah. Let's release it. All right, we're going to do the other side. I'm just going to put my strap here in my lap. So we're going to open up, let that knee fall down, push that foot back, lift your heart. Ah, feels good. Release it. Do it one more time. All right, let's face forward, pyramid pose. Remember, you can just do it with that foot extended out, toes to the ceiling. Extend the spine long, let the heart fall forward. And if you want to add the strap, we're just going to hook the strap around the ball of the foot. Walk our hands down. Extend the spine long first. Walk your hands down gently. And I'm pulling ever so slightly to flex that foot. And release it. Go ahead and put your strap under your chair. Let's grab a sip of water. All right. We are now going to move into a crescent lunge again. This time we're going to be adding on. So we're going to take that right knee and we're going to open it up nice and wide. And then we're going to let that left knee fall down towards the floor. Remember, this version is great. If you want a little bit more, we're going to push that foot back behind us, kind of extending the back of the kneecap towards the ceiling and feeling a pretty good stretch here in the front of this leg. Okay, so facing over that front knee, bring your hands to your heart. So we're going to take a deep breath in, and on an exhale, we're going to extend those hands up to the ceiling. Now, take a deep breath in, and on an exhale, I want you to bring your arms to GoHPO arms and try to squeeze your shoulder blades behind your back. We're looking up just slightly, okay? So breathe here. I'm going to show you here in just a second. Let's bring those hands back down to heart and release it. Okay, so I want you to look at me real quick. Don't do this one. I just want to show you real quick. So what we did, we came here, we went up, and we went into that GoHPO arms, and we squeezed. Now, I'm looking up, but I don't ever want you to just let the head go and look up, okay? So don't ever do that with your neck. It's not good. What's happening is I'm extending my spine, and my head is just a natural extension of that spine. You see what's happening? As I'm looking up, I'm kind of getting that heart opening, and that's what we're looking for in this pose, all right? So let's do that one more time on that side. Here we go. Knee down, push that foot back behind you, bring those hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in, and on an exhale, we're going to extend those hands up to the ceiling. Inhale here. On an exhale, bring those arms to GoHPO arms. Extend up and look towards the ceiling. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind your back for a full heart opening. One more breath and release and face forward. How did that feel? All right, you're beginning to feel a little bit of that heart opening. I call it heart opening. We're really stretching through the chest and the shoulder muscles. All right, let's do the other side. Let's open it up nice and wide first. Okay, now we're going to let that knee fall down. We're going to push that foot back behind us. Bring your hands to your heart. All right, everybody good here? You got your position with that leg, your hands at heart. Here's the part there. We're adding on. Take a deep breath in. On an exhale, hands to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. On an exhale, bend those elbows, move those shoulders back, squeeze your shoulder blades behind your back, look up slightly. Breathing here, just your natural breath. Don't worry about that yoga breath. One more breath, release it. All right, we're going to do that one more time. Are we ready? Here we go. Take that knee, put it in the position you want it. Maybe you can stretch it a little bit more now, right? We're warming up. We're getting maybe a little more flexibility in that front of that leg and that hip flexor. See if you can. All right, bring your hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in. On an exhale, hands to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. On an exhale, we're going to look up at that ceiling. We're going to squeeze those shoulder blades behind our back. We're breathing. One more breath and release and face forward. Whew, how does that feel? Everybody pretty good? All right, so the next series I just call a heart opener. I don't know that there's a fancy name for it or anything or a Sanskrit name. But what I'm going to do, I want to show you from the side. I want you to continue facing me. I'm going to turn to the side a little bit here so you can see me a little bit better as to what I'm doing. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hands, I'm going to place them on the back of my chair. You see that? And they're in the seat of the chair, behind me, but on the seat of my chair. Now, I'm looking forward, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to begin to lift my heart up, and I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades behind my back, and I'm looking up. So it's similar to what we just did in our crescent lunge with our arms. However, one more breath, pull that belly button in, come around, and come down into a child's pose. So in your child's pose, your arms are going to be on your, I'm going to finish my thought here in just a second. In a child's pose, we're going to come forward and we're going to let our head fall and tuck the chin, okay? So what I was saying is, the little bit of difference that you will feel in this heart opening pose with your hands on the chair. Let's come back up. Versus what we just did with crescent lunge is you can squeeze your shoulder blades behind you just a little bit more, all right? So see if you can do that. Here we go. Place the hands on the back of the chair. We're going to lift the heart first, all right? Do you feel the belly engaging the minute that heart lifts? Do you feel it? Right? Pull those belly button to the spine. Now, I want you to just squeeze your shoulder blades behind your back. You can get a little more squeeze, can't you, with your hands in this position? That's the only difference between what we were doing a minute ago with those goalpost arms. We're looking up slightly. We're not letting that head go. We're squeezing. One more breath. We're going to release it, and let's come back into that child's pose. So my hands are just resting, my arms are resting on my thighs, and I'm just kind of letting my head hang out. And if you are so inclined and you really want to move forward with this one, let your heart fall a little bit further, right? All right, roll it up slowly. Beautiful. Okay, so now the add-on to that heart-opening pose is our our arm position, shoulder position, kind of all of it. So if you want to keep doing what we were just doing, that is absolutely fine. But if you want to add on with me, what we're going to do is we're going to take our hands, they're out to the side, my palms are facing in, okay? So your palms should be facing me, or the TV, or whatever you're looking at, your computer. Bend your elbows and just lightly place those hands behind the head. You see what I did there? So now my fingers are not interlaced, right? Just have your head resting there. Actually, you know what? I've changed my mind. I want to do this one arm at a time. So I want you to take that left arm down first. We're going to start with the right arm. And I want you to just squeeze through. All I'm doing is I'm trying to push this elbow back to the back wall, all right? But don't twist. So we want to twist, right? I don't want you to do that. I want you to keep your hips forward. And all I want you to do is take that shoulder back. Oh my gosh, do you feel that? Holy cow, there's a lot of stretch in that shoulder. Oh yeah. One more breath. Bring that shoulder forward, or that elbow forward, and bring it down. And let's do the other side. So I'm just going to take that hand out. Palm is facing towards me, towards the camera, or towards the TV, whatever you're watching. We're going to bend that elbow, put that hand back behind the head. Now, I want you to just take your elbow and move it. Don't let these hips move. They want to, right? Everything wants to twist. Keep everything centered and just let that elbow be the one thing that moves. Oh my, what a stretch. All right, take that out and put it down. Okay, go ahead and roll those shoulders a couple of times. Now, you can keep doing that same thing, one arm at a time. But if you want to move with me, we're going to do both. So here we go. Palms facing in, arms are wide, bend the elbows, place the hands behind the head. Now here we go. We're trying to kind of touch our elbows behind us. Wow. Feel it? Heart opening, stretching. One more breath and release and roll those shoulders. Whew, I know that's a pretty intense one for me. Very, very good. Okay, so now we're going to move into a seated camel pose. Again, I'm going to show you from the side. We just kind of have a lot going on with movement in our back, and it's hard for you to see what I'm doing. You can't see behind me. So you stay facing me, and I want to turn to the side, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one hand. You can use your fist or you can use your flat palm. It really doesn't matter. I think I'm going to use my fist just because, I don't know, just because that's what I feel like today. So I want you to put one hand on the side of your spine, okay? So you don't want the hand on the spine at all. You want it on the side of the spine. And we've got this big bone here, and it's kind of going to go right above that bone, so the fleshy part of the back. And then my other hand is going to go on the other side, the fleshy part of the back. Again, you can have those palms open if you prefer it, or you can have the fist. Either is fine. All right, so that's step one. Shoulders are down, heart is lifted. Now, all you're going to do is you're going to push with your hands forward. So notice what's happening to my hips. My hips are tilting, aren't they? And now I'm looking up. So my heart is opening. I'm getting a little back bend. My belly is tight. My hips are tilted forward. It's quite a stretch. You may not feel too much right now, but here, hang on. All right, are you ready? Take it nice and gentle. We're going to release. Now we're going to come back into that child's pose, and I bet you feel it now. Come into that child's pose. My hands are resting on my thighs. My belly's going to fall kind of between my legs, and then I'm going to tuck my chin, let your head fall in child's pose. Do you feel the stretch now? It feels like you worked that back, didn't it? Yeah. All right, tuck your chin and roll it up slowly. Okay, and we're going to do that again, all right? Do you kind of feel it now? Put those hands, and maybe you try it with the open palms this time. I don't care, right? It's all good. The first thing I want you to do, though, is press forward first. So you kind of feel those hips thrusting forward. You're creating just a slight back bend. It's a very, very small, subtle back bend. Now, here's where you really get the opening of the heart. Pull those shoulders down and back and lift up, look up towards the ceiling, kind of where the ceiling and the wall meet. Don't let that head fall. Breathe. One more breath here. All right, first of all, we're going to pull the belly in. We're going to begin to round that spine, and we're going to come back into that child's pose. So my hands are just hanging out here between my thighs. I'm letting my heart fall. Now, if you want a little bit more, you can let your hands fall towards the floor. It's okay, but it's just up to you, right? So here I am in an extended seated child's pose. Let your head fall. Don't hold the head. One more breath. We're going to tuck our chin, and we're going to roll it up nice and slow. Your head is the last thing to come up. And release. Okay, we're going to do one final thing before we finish up this segment. So I'm coming way forward in the seat of my chair, okay? And I'm going to heel toe my feet nice and wide. Kind of what feels good to you. Yeah, there's not like a set amount of space that this needs to be. All right, so kind of what we were doing with our child's pose, that this is going to be wide-legged. We're going to come forward. We're going to place those hands here on those thighs, and we're going to let that heart fall forward. Now, if this works for you, you're going to hang out right there and just feel great. It's good. It's a nice stretch. If you're with me and you feel okay, peek at me real quick here. Let's go ahead and look up at me, and I just want to show you what we're going to do. So all ragdoll is doing, we're in that forward fold. We're going to grab our elbows. And so what happens when you're inverted and you have those elbows, it kind of pulls. Gravity is helping pull you down. It's just a nice stretch. Then we'll nod our head, and we'll shake our head no, and we'll nod our head yes, okay? All right, are we ready? Here we go. Down into that forward fold. Holding on. If you are so inclined, take your hands and place them on the floor. Let your head fall. Now, I'm going to reach up and I'm going to grab my elbows. Remember I showed you how that, now, I don't know about you, but I immediately feel my back stretching more. Go ahead and nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Hang out just a couple more breaths. Place your hands on the floor, and we're going to roll up slowly. You can walk your hands up your legs if you want to, right? If you want to support that low back, that's fine. We're going to come all the way up to seated. We're going to bring our legs together. And let's grab a sip of water. All right, let's come to standing. So we're going to start on the right side of our chair, and we're going to be facing our chair, okay? So we're going to take the foot that's next to the back of the chair, and that's the foot that's going to go underneath. And we're going to take a step back with that opposite foot, and we're going to turn it to that 45-degree angle, all right? So the thing about having the foot at that angle, so we don't want it at that 90-degree angle, right? Because your hips just cannot come around. They just really have no way. But if you turn that foot to where it's up at an angle, 45-degree angle, basically, now you can get those hips forward, all right? So that's the key, is getting the hips forward. We're going to go ahead and bend that front knee. You can hold your chair, that's fine. All right, you feeling it? Bending that front knee? Oh, yeah. Let's bring our hands to our heart. So think about belly to button to spine. Extend that, lengthen through that spine long. Really thinking about pulling in here. So this is the key to having a solid warrior one. We're going to have our hands to our heart. And now we're going to inhale, and on an exhale, we're going to bring those hands to the ceiling. Shoulders are down, and we're going to move to our warrior two pose. All right. So in our warrior two, my front knee is bent. My leg can touch the chair. So then we know we kind of have that stability, right? It's nice to have it. Belly is tight, shoulders are down. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to take this hand, this left hand, and we're going to let it fall straight down to the mat, to the chair, excuse me. And here we are in a side angle pose, all right? Now, for this first one, we're going to actually use the chair. Believe me, we'll be building into this one where we'll be here. But let's start with our hand in the chair for this first one, all right? Just gives us a little more stability while we bind until we can kind of get the feel of that. So now, I want you to take the hand that's in the air and put it on your waist and lift your heart, all right? You feel that heart opening? Now, let's go ahead and extend that hand out. We're breathing here. One more breath. We're going to press through that front leg, and we're going to come back up to that warrior two. Let's reverse our warrior. So we're going to flip that palm up and back. Feel that nice stretch through the side waist. Back to your warrior two. And we're going to step out of that, okay? All right, just take a moment. We're going to stay on this side, and we're going to add just the one bind, and we're using our body, not using the strap for this first one, okay? All right, so let's get back into it one more time. Take that foot, step it back, 45-degree angle, hips are forward. Bend the front knee. Bring that belly button into the spine, lengthen through that tailbone. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in. On an exhale, hands to the ceiling. All right, let's move to the goalpost arms. Now we're going to look up at the ceiling. So there we're adding a heart opening in our warrior one pose. You feel it? Heart is opening. We're looking up towards the ceiling. Shoulders stay down. One more breath. Bring those hands back to your heart. Okay, actually, let's come back up to the ceiling. That's okay. I don't mind coming to the heart first. Now we're going to move into that warrior two. You got it? Look over those front fingertips if you can. Let's reverse that warrior up and back. Now, as we come down, we're going to place that hand in the chair and come into that side angle pose. Heart is open. The hand in the air. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to bend that elbow and we're going to let that arm slide back behind us. And we're going to press the palm into the back as we lift our heart up. You feel it? I do. All right, one more breath. Now let's take that arm back out. We're going to press through that front heel as we come back into that warrior two. Let's reverse it one more time because it just feels really good. Back to warrior two, and we're going to step out in it. Okay, let's go to the other side. So again, the leg that's next to the back of the chair is the one that's going to come up under your chair, because that just makes it where we're all going in the same direction. It's not like it's any big deal, but it just helps us all go in the same direction. All right, that back foot, remember that 45-degree angle we talked about? Get those hips forward. And if you need to heel toe that front foot out a little bit so that you can get those hips around, that is just fine. Bend that front knee. Bring your hands to your heart. Pull that belly in. Lengthen through that tailbone. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, and on an exhale, we're moving to that warrior two. Shoulders are down, belly is tight. Flip that palm up and back. And now we're going to come into our side angle pose. So my right hand is going to go into the chair. My left arm is at an extension out. My heart is lifted. We're in our side angle pose. Take another breath here. Now we're going to add that bind. So the hand that's in the air, we're going to bend at that elbow. And we're going to bring that hand back behind our back. And we're going to press. So I'm pressing the hand into the back as I lift my heart. There's our beautiful bind. One more breath. Let's release that. Hand comes up. We're going to press back to that warrior two. Flip that palm up and back. Back to your warrior two. And release it. Very good. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is a downward facing puppy. So we've been doing a bit of opening this direction, and we haven't done just a ton of the opposite direction. So that's one of the things we're going to do right now. So I want you to take like a half of it, or a step of, one step back from the side of your chair. We're going to pull our belly button to our spine, and we're going to hinge forward, and we're going to place one hand in the chair and then the other hand in the chair, okay? And then I want you to come forward so that your shoulders are over your wrist. So we're not back here, we're up, all right? So that's pretty important. Now I'm going to come down onto the forearm. See how that feels? You probably are feeling the back of the body stretching. Do you feel that, right? Okay. So now I'm going to take a step back, pretty good size step back with my right foot. Pull your belly button to your spine. Step back with that left foot. Now press into the forearms and lift your hips up to the ceiling. And here you are in a downward facing puppy. Now your heels may touch the floor, they may not, it doesn't matter. Belly is tight. I'm pressing the heart back towards my thighs. My hips are coming up to the ceiling. I am breathing. One more breath. We're going to take a step forward. Take a step forward. And we're going to roll it up nice and slow. All right. We're going to do that again from the other side. Now, here's the thing. If that chair is wanting to slide, I would encourage you to have it on a carpet or a mat or something, right? So if your chair is on just your wood floor, for example, be super careful, all right? So you don't want to be, you want to be pressing down anyway. That's the idea. You're pressing down, not out. But just be careful. All right. So we're going to start with those feet just a step away from the chair. We're going to hinge forward, and we're going to put one hand in the chair and the other hand in the chair. All right. Right? Just kind of letting yourself sink into this one first. Now, let yourself continue to fall forward and put your forearms on the chair. And you probably are feeling quite a stretch in the back of the legs at this point. It's all good, right? We're warm, so we can do this. All right, if you're with me, we're going to take a step back, take another step back. Now, I want you to press into your forearms, lift your hips to the ceiling, press your heart back, and just breathe into it. Let those heels fall down if they will. If they won't, that's okay. Heart is pressing back. Forearms is on the on the chair. We're pulling the belly button to the spine. One more breath. We're going to step forward, roll it up nice and slow. Ha! How did you do? All right, everybody. Let's have a seat. Whew. And grab a sip of water. How's everybody feeling? Good? All right, we're going to finish up now. Let's take that right knee. We're going to open it up nice and wide. Feel that inner thigh stretch. Now, the main thing to remember in our half Lord of the Fishes pose is that we don't want this knee to fold in. It's going to want to, but I want you to really try hard not to let it. All right, let's take this arm, this left arm, bring it all the way across your body. You're going to grab your chair, lift the crown of the head towards the ceiling, and then you're going to look over the back of your chair. Let's release that and do it one more time. Come all the way across your chair. Lift and twist. And release. Crescent lunge, knee towards the floor. Push the foot behind you. Lift your heart up. One final heart opening while we're here. Let's lift that heart up. Feel that stretch. Let's release it. And we're going to do that one more time. Here we go. Back of the kneecap to the ceiling. Lift that heart up. And if you want to add those arms, you can. It's your choice. Squeezing, looking up. One more breath and release. Let's face forward. We're going to extend that leg out in front of us, toes to the ceiling. Lift the heart up and let the heart fall forward. If you want to use that strap, go for it. I'm not going to this time, but if you want to, it's great. Let's go ahead and lift the heart up, and we're going to do that one more time. Don't forget to extend first. Then, keeping the back flat, let the heart fall forward. And release. Good job. Okay, we're going to do our pigeon pose now. So remember, if you cross ankle to ankle, that's great. But I want you to leave this leg right where it is. Don't bring that foot in, okay? Keep that leg out and cross. Or if you're with me, I'm going to cross my ankle onto my knee, all right? Now, I'm going to extend my spine long. I don't know about you, but I'm already feeling the stretch right here. And this may be all you want. If you want a little more, you're just going to let your heart fall forward. So it's totally your choice, right? If you stay lifted, heart lifted, or let the heart fall forward. If you keep the back flat, you're going to maximize the stretch. Go ahead and lift it up. And let's just flutter that butterfly today. All right, let's do that again. Extend the spine long and let the heart fall forward. If you want to press gently on that knee, go for it. You can even put your elbow there and put your chin on those fingers and press. It's all good, right? It's a good option. Let's release that and let's flutter that butterfly again. We're going to do it one more time. You've got options. And you can even, if you like it, you can extend those arms out towards the wall in front of you and then let them fall towards the floor. It's a good option if you like it. Go for it. If you want to keep your hands on the thighs, go for it. If you've got choices. That's all I'm saying. And up we go. Very good. Let's put that leg down and move to the other side. Open that knee nice and wide. Remember, keep this knee open. Right hand is going to come all the way across our body. We're going to grab the chair. crown of the head to the ceiling, turn and look over the back of your chair. And let's release that, and we're going to do that again. Bring that hand across your body, lift and twist. And release. Very good. Crescent lunge. Knee to the floor. Press the foot back if you like it. Heart is lifted. We're breathing into the stretch. We're really warm so we can maximize the stretch in the front of that leg. Let's release it, and then let's do that again. Adding those arms if you like it. Squeezing the shoulder blades behind us. One final heart opener today. We have worked so hard. Beautiful. One more breath. And release and face forward. Pyramid pose. Extend that leg in front of you. Toes to the ceiling. Lift and hinge. And remember, if you want to grab your strap and use that, do it. Let's lift that heart up, and we're going to do that one more time. Extend and hinge. This would be your exhale if you want to add that breath. Oh, yeah. After that downward facing puppy, we may have a little more availability in those hamstrings today. All right, let's come up to pigeon pose. Did y'all like downward facing puppy? I love that one. All right, remember, you can be here or you can have that ankle on that knee. Extend and hinge. And up we go, and let's flutter that butterfly. Let's do that again. Extend and hinge, and if you want to press gently on that knee, you can. You can even put that elbow there if you like it. And release it, and let's flutter that butterfly. And our final version. Extend up first, and maybe you bring those hands out to the wall in front of you and then down to the floor if you like that version. That's a great version. If you don't like that version, pick a different one. And release. All right. Let's go ahead and sit back in our chair. Place your hands lightly on your thighs. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. A deep breath in. And on this exhalation, close your eyes. Flip your palms to the ceiling. Power of thought. If your thoughts are working against you, stop having those particular thoughts. Make the intentional choice to think other thoughts. If your thoughts are overwhelming your awareness and alertness, back away from those thoughts. You can do less thinking and analyzing and more observing, acting, and experiencing. Thinking is an extremely powerful, useful, beneficial skill. Yet, like any powerful force, it can be destructive when carried to the extreme. Your thinking is an important part of your life, yet it is not the entirety of your life. With the power of thought, you can think yourself into anything. Be sure to exercise control over that power so your thoughts lead you to positive outcomes. Don't let your thoughts get the best of you. Instead, harness them to make yourself the best you can be. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Reach up with your right hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that left hand down towards the floor. Release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Reach up with your hands and give the head a gentle tug. Release it. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Reach up with your left hand. Give the head a gentle tug, pressing that right hand down towards the floor. Release it. Look up just slightly. Open your mouth if you want to stretch your jaw. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. Remember, go to Bottoms Down Chair Yoga on YouTube. Click on that subscribe button. Leave me a comment, and I will see you next time.